What's happening, guys? Welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing something a little out of the ordinary. I haven't seen something like this before, so I thought I'd maybe give it a shot. I'm going to be doing a 1000th listen on Tool Pneuma. Okay, maybe it's not 1000. I'm just exaggerating a little bit to just give it a round number. But yes, the point that I'm trying to bring across is I've listened to this track close to 1000 times, I'm sure. And I wanted to do a reaction or review rather for you after so many listens. Now, obviously the normal reaction video is the initial reaction. But I thought I'd switch it up and try and do something a little bit different and slightly original for you, and give you the review and reaction on the 1000th listen. Very odd. But here I am anyways. I need to put this on my catalog because Tool's my favorite band ever. And Pneuma is right up there among the best tracks that I've experienced by Tool. So without further ado, here we go. This is Tool Pneuma for the 1000th time. Here we go. Let's pump the volume up proper. I'm going to pause it there. No matter how many times you hear that intro, it sets the exact same mood every single time. If you chop the song up, right, you would say that intro is not really necessary because the song only really starts when the bass drops, right? But it wouldn't be the same artistic piece. That's like saying, let's paint the Mona Lisa without her in that specific clothing. Why would you want to change a single thing about this track? And I think it's perfect. I think I think that intro that we just listened to now kind of pulls you away from everything else to prepare you for what's to come. Now, I'm not saying that people worship Tool in a different way, and I'm not one of those, but you have to give them credit for doing this on the music because no other band can do it better than them. These intros and these little intricacies are there for a very, very good reason. It's not willy-nilly or just random pieces that they're trying to use as filler. No ways. So everything there is deliberate and it's intended. It's got a purpose. Every piece has a purpose. That's my point that I'm trying to bring across here. So yeah, let me not dwell too much on the intro, but I think that it's there for a reason to kind of warm you up for the rest of the track and to set the tone, and it nails it every single time. Here we go. Let's continue. Too good. Too good. Oh yes, buddy. Oh yes. just goes and goes and goes and goes.
We are the spirit
Bound to
this flesh.
I'm sorry, let me not sing. Let me not sing.
Go around, one foot nailed down, bound to reach out and beyond
Oh, so good.
this flesh. Become Pneuma. We are a will and wonder, bound to recall, remember, one breath, one word, one spark, sun become me.
I'm gonna pause it right there, just before the chorus, right? So, I don't know if you remember the first time you heard this track. I remember it very, very, very clearly. I'm not gonna tell you when I heard the track. It may have been before the release date, maybe not. Not gonna commit to anything. But the first time I heard it, because that was the first track I listened to after Fear Inoculum being released a month prior, right? So the next track in line was Pneuma. And when I listened to it, that verse had me shaking. That verse had me, it had my spine twirling and tumbling and all of that good shit for the first time. And I knew that while I was enjoying it, I knew that I had to listen to it a few more times to let it really sink in properly. And that's exactly what occurred. But the point I'm trying to make is the initial impression was just absolutely staggering. And even now, listening to it after so many times, probably 1,000, maybe close to it, I don't know. Definitely over 500, I would say. Even after listening to it so many times, I still get that same feeling, you know. There's this people that do drugs will say it's never as good as your first hit, but with Pneuma it is. It's as good as the first hit every single time. That verse is so incredible, and it sets up everything for this track, really. And it's deeper. It's deeper than just a verse. I don't know how to explain it. The guitars, the drums, the vocals, the melodies, the bass. I don't know what makes it so special, because if you take it individually apart, yeah, it's good. But when you bring it together, I don't know, something magical just happens. Something incredible occurs in that verse. And it just can keep on going and going and going. This is how I don't know how Tool does it, because it's a flippin' what? It's a 12-minute song, right? And they manage to keep your attention right through. And it's because of how good the verse is. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong in the comments. It's because of how powerful that verse is, and because you keep on coming back to it, and it's so good every single time that you can't get sick of this track. If that verse was any way different, we maybe would have felt a bit differently, right? But it's not. So let's continue into the chorus. Here we go. You know what's coming, right? Danny Carey's about to explode. Let me just pause it quickly there for a second as well. Now, this is my point. This proves my point, because that chorus over there, it felt good, right? It was good for. I think it was a good chorus for what we had in the verse, right? But just take that out of the song quickly and think to yourself, would you really listen to that over and over and over? I wouldn't. It's good, but it's not great. It's because of the verse that's about to happen again that makes everything flow the way it does. And I put a lot of stock into that verse. That verse is absolutely incredible. It doesn't even matter what they're playing in the chorus because you just can't wait to get to the second verse. And here we go.
Child,
Oh,
wake up. Child, release the light. Wake up now, child. Wake up. Child, release the light. Wake up now, child.
this is so spiritual. This is so spiritual. It's amazing. Woo! Fucking hell. Too good. Just too good.
Bound you this flesh, this guise, this mask, this dream. Wake up, remember, we are born out of one breath, one word. We are all one spark, sun becoming.
Go on, get sick of that shit. Go on, get sick of it. You know Danny Carey went apeshit on the song. I don't have to tell you about it. You've seen the live videos, you've seen the covers, you've seen everything, and more importantly, you've heard it already, so I don't need to tell you anything about Danny Carey right about now. Pause it over here. This part is like basically so Tool. It's so Tool because it's got that tribal feel to it, and we obviously know where it's going to now with the sound, but it's got that tabla tribal sort of buzz going, and then also okay, let me just continue. Let me not babble on too much. I'll stop when I feel it's appropriate. But yeah, this is so Tool with the tribal drumming and setting up the midsection over here quite nicely. Pulses, always pulses. Okay, I'm going to pause right before that section, or right before that moment. But when I heard the track, I was like, wow, this sounds so good. It sounds amazing, right? When I saw Danny Carey playing this live on the Pneuma live drum cam video that he has, wow, was I blown away. I was absolutely blown away. I had no idea, I had no comprehension in my brain to process what he was doing on the drums all at the same time. I only realized how powerful this part actually is for a drummer when I saw that video and I saw him doing it live. I was blown the fuck away. And every time I listen to it, ever since I watched the video, now that when I listen to this track, I think about him doing it live, and it just takes everything up to another level. When I click play now, this is going to be my favorite moment in the entire track, and it's kind of like a play on the intro section, and it just makes me melt every single time I hear it. And here we go. So smooth. This is so good. This is so good. Pause it there quickly again. Sorry for all the pauses, guys, but this is my review. I need to share my thoughts with you. I live in Cape Town, South Africa, and we've got some of the best views in the world, like undoubtedly, without question, right? When listening to that section over there, driving through the mountains in Camps Bay and Hout Bay and Llandudno, listening to that piece of music is something out of this world. Out of this world, listening to that section while driving through the mountains, maybe even enjoying a sunset right on the Camps Bay cliffs. Something so magical. Seriously, maybe I should do a short video of of the actual route over there and play this in the background and kind of explain to you what I'm trying to get at. But if you're from Cape Town or if you've been to Cape Town, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And to listen to that sweet guitar melodies blaring through the speakers while you're driving through with the wind in your hair. I don't want to sound a little too mushy now, but you get my point, right? Anyway, continue. Here we go. Ground lifting. Woo! Goosebumps. cool and calm. Oh, the song gets me hyped up, guys. It gets me fucking hyped up. In the best way possible. In the coolest way possible. And done. Whew, sorry about that, guys. I lost my shit there. I think it was expected. And this is how I feel every single time listening to this track. No difference. It's obviously depending on where I'm at and who I'm around, etc., etc., blah, blah. But the way I feel is 100% the same every single time. I have to be honest with you and say I did some psychedelics on this track. I did some shrooms while listening to Tool, specifically this album, and specifically Pneuma. And I listened to it with a couple of friends of mine, and up till today, we still talk about that moment. That moment was something I'll cherish for the rest of my life because it was that powerful. It was a supernatural, intensely powerful, sensational experience. Insane experience. And we listened to, I'm a big muser, right? So music for me is everything. So we listened to a few other bands before we came to Tool. And the thing about Tool is you notice that difference. You notice the difference in, I don't know, in just the level. You notice the difference. You notice the different level that Tool is on. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words here because I'm so excited to talk about this track, right? When you listen to other bands and then you immediately switch over to Tool, it's so clear, it's so obvious that Tool is just superior in every single way. There's no way denying it. And I think only Tooligans will agree with me on this. There's a lot of people that will say, oh, Tool, just another band, nothing special. Kiss my ass, dude. Kiss my fucking ass. Seriously? The amount of effort and passion that they put into their craft and into their music is second to none. I don't know another band that has done what Tool has done, especially with their last three projects. Lateralis, 10,000 Days, and Fear Inoculum. I think they will be talking about those three albums one day in Harvard University or something. We'll see. But, wow, what a band, what a track. My personal favorite Tool track is obviously Lost Keys, going into Rosetta Stone. Rosetta Stone for me is the ultimate Tool experience. But I think Pneuma's right there. It's a tie between Pneuma and Right in 2 as number 2 on my list. But this track I think appeals to anybody and everybody from any background, any ethnicity, flippin' anyone. Whereas the other tracks can't. Rosetta Stone is not very, it won't be well received by the masses, so to say. But I think this track would be. I don't know, it's just a hunch that I have. I think anybody from any background listening to Pneuma will be able to feel the passion and connect with the song and connect with the artists that have created this masterpiece. And that's why it's so special. Generally speaking, I think Pneuma is the best track that they've made for those reasons, because it's almost biblical to a certain degree, you know. It's really a deeply spiritual experience for me, and they've knocked this one out of the park. I love the album, obviously, and yeah, like I said in the beginning, this is probably the 1,000th or close to 1,000th listen. Okay, maybe not 1,000, but you get my point. I've listened to this track quite a bit, and this is how I feel every single time listening to it. And I can't get sick of it. And I think that it's because of the amount of effort that they've put into all these different intricacies and They focus on what's important and what sounds good and feels good. That just keeps you coming back for more. It's like a drug that never stops giving you what you need and what you crave for, which is a very dangerous combination, I would say. Music, drugs. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. I'm not going to keep you too much. But this is an absolutely astonishingly good track by Tool, my favorite band. Kudos to Maynard, kudos to Danny and the boys as well. This is something special. This is really going to transcend music and prog, I think, into a different direction, in a whole new direction. And if Tool can give us one more album, just as a cherry on the top, I would die a happy man. I would die a happy man right now because of Fear Inoculum. But I think they have one more left in them. Considering that Metallica, AC/DC, Sabbath, Iron Maiden, they're all still going for it, and I think that Tool still has a little bit of time on their side compared to those guys. So I think one more album should do the trick. Anyway, that's me, guys. Peace out. Cheers.